All right, so here we're booting up just for show and tell. I have Mac running on my Windows 10 PC. I'm using a software called Virtualbox, which is really neat. You can run multiple different operating systems inside of your computer. So if you ever wanted to try something out, like Linux, for example, you could load it inside of VirtualBox, and you notice down here is Windows, because this VirtualBox software is running in Windows, and it can create a virtual machine that you can play around with. So I use it a lot of times for troubleshooting. Sometimes you can run different servers and things inside of there as well. So sometimes I'll have customers that have Apple stuff that I need to walk them through, and I don't have the menus memorized, believe it or not. And so this helps me to walk them through things, because I have no desire to own a Mac. But this illustrates a couple of important things that I tell Mac people. The hardware inside of an Apple is entirely the same hardware that's inside of a PC. You're just paying 3 or 4 times as much for it. And then the operating system that runs inside of here is actually something called FreeBSD, which is a derivative of Unix. So it relates to Linux. So the Mac operating system is not really an Apple thing, and the Mac hardware is not an Apple thing. That's why I'm able to run it on my PC here. Apple just doesn't want you. That's one of the, I don't like the business practices of Apple. That's my main beef with them. So here you can see it's running, it doesn't know what the processor is. It's because I'm using a Ryzen processor. AMD's Ryzen processors are fantastic. They're smashing the Intel processors, in my opinion, into the ground, just left and right, providing a lot more performance for half the cost. But it's not approved in the Apple world, so you can't use it. The virtual machine, I can dictate how much memory I want to give to this virtual machine, so I gave 8 gig of RAM. But yeah, I'm running Mac operating system inside of my Windows PC here, so you can do pretty much anything. It's just I'll pull this up here, google.com, and hey, there we are. Kind of neat. So it helps me to troubleshoot with customers and stuff, that I can see the menus and walk through things. But yeah, it's fully functional. You can open up different software, open up photos, or I have Skype set up for me and my buddies to chat on here. So there's let's pull up just let's go back to what we were just talking about a moment ago. We'll do a wiki on OS X, which is the current Mac operating system. It has been for almost 20 years now. And over here you see family, Unix. So it's so a lot of the commands when I'm troubleshooting on a Mac, I actually don't spend a whole bunch of time in the Apple arena, but I can usually troubleshoot by using commands. You see here, most people are surprised to even know that there's a terminal. The terminal exists in OS X because it is Unix, and Unix is driven by command-based things. So a lot of the tools and utilities that I would use when I'm working on my servers applies to this as well. So anyways, it's just kind of interesting and fun. In the end, that's not to say that people should stop buying Macs. You need to buy whatever you like to use, and whatever makes you happy. That's what's important. You're the user of the software. But yeah, I just wanted to show I have a Mac here running inside of a PC. Kind of cool. We don't want iCloud stuff. I just want to have regular files. New folder. Yeah, anyways. Hope you guys are having a good time. And just thanks for watching this really quick video on VirtualBox. And if you're interested in getting some software and learning it, I'll show you here really quick. It's free. You can just search for VirtualBox, and you can download the software here. You would download, if you're on a Windows machine, you would download Windows hosts. Once you do that, you end up with something like this, where you can create a new machine, and then you would give it a file. So if you ever wanted to play with like Ubuntu, you would search for the Ubuntu download. You would download that, and then you would create a new machine, You would call it, you know, test Ubuntu. And you see here it already knows that it's Linux. So you would say next. How much memory do you want to give it? Next. Create a hard disk. So it's like a pretend hard drive that really doesn't exist. It's just a file. So you'd say next. And how do you want the hard drive to be set up? Virtualbox image, that's fine. Next. Dynamically allocated or fixed size. Dynamically means if you're only using 100 meg inside of that hard drive, you can say that the hard drive is 10 gig, but if you're only using 100 meg, it's only going to take up 100 meg on your Windows machine. So you would have this here, and then you'd go into the settings of it, and you would add, whoops, you can't turn on obviously because you don't have anything yet. Go away, just kidding. You would mount the ISO, that's the file that you downloaded from Ubuntu. You would go into the storage here and add I need to shut this down. When it's running, you can't do anything, so discard, because I accidentally started it. Go back into the settings here. Under storage, you can add the ISO, so your CD drive right here. Choose this, you would choose a file. That file will be an ISO, and then you can boot it up. When you boot it up, then you install the operating system as if you're installing it on an actual computer. So anyways, VirtualBox and Mac running inside of a PC. And you can see my PC hardware. If I accidentally get out of here, and you know, there's my Windows host running everything. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.